Welcome back. We want to help you get your career in that upward trajectory. From the elevator pitch to the formal interview, how well do you present yourself? Well, we can all do a little better with some coaching. Here to help is Dan Miller from Monster.com. And Dan, I was listening to our viewers there, the gentleman saying, tell the truth. That's important when it comes to the resume.
Absolutely. I think it's very important to quantify what you've done. And your resume is a very important document. I mean, this is a document that says what have you been doing for the last 1, 2, 10, 20 years. And I think what's on there needs to be truly reflective of what you've accomplished. There are background checks that employers can do. You really don't want to get caught in a lie. And if you're lucky enough to get the job, you don't want to be caught in a lie once you're working at the company and what you're talking about doesn't reflect what's on that document.
And we have all heard the stories of folks who have been fired after the fact while they were in the job because they did lie on their resume. Now let's talk about another thing with the resume. What can you leave off? I know for some younger job seekers, they think maybe putting the year they graduated makes them seem too young. For some folks who are a little older and back out looking for work right now, they say they're maybe leave some things off the resume so they don't appear too old. How do you manage the age thing with the resume?
Well, I think that, first of all, older workers are going to make up a huge part of our workforce over the next 10 to 20 years. You're seeing people reaching, baby boomers reaching a little bit older stage in their lives. They want to continue to be productive. Some of them, sadly, have seen their nest egg go away with the result of what's happened with the economy over the last 3 to 4 years. So I think that older workers are going to stay in the workforce. I don't think that is a detriment on a resume. I think employers are looking for senior people who can lead teams, who have experience with management, and who have experience working with younger people. I think that there's definitely a need for that. Should you hide it? I don't think so. I think if there is a gap on your, I wouldn't recommend necessarily putting the date you graduated from college if that's a concern for you. There's no need to have that, but you certainly can put that if you feel that it will help you get the position you're going for. Again, it depends on what position are you looking for.
Okay, now of course, then we hope that resume gets us that interview. When you're in the interview, let's talk about that process right now. And you really, if you're an older worker, feel good about it. Let's talk about the difference between being cocky, being confident, and maybe being too comfortable, and how to handle yourself and prepare yourself so you do a good job in the interview.
Yeah, it all goes down to preparation. Preparation really is 75% of the interview. With the tools that we have today to research companies, no one should go on a job interview uninformed without understanding what does that company do, where are they going, what are their goals, what is the culture like, what is their competition. That information is all available, whether you go to a Hoover's or whether you go to just company information on their own websites. Most companies have websites now. You're making a crucial mistake if you don't do the research, and you do see it happen.
And there's so much, from your site to other places to books, there's a lot of good advice as far as how to conduct yourself and maybe watch your own mannerisms and things like that so that you do present yourself well in these interviews. Now let's talk about the elevator pitch. Now, for folks at home who don't know what I'm talking about here, there are times where you get, by stroke of luck or by design, a chance to meet someone who can help your career, maybe even hire you themselves. And you may have 30 seconds with that person in the elevator, at a cocktail party, or wherever, in fact. How do you suggest folks design their own elevator pitch?
Obviously, be able to articulate your skill set, what your accomplishments have been throughout your career, and it's a bonus if you know who you're talking to, what their needs are, and to be able to equate how your skill set can help that company.
And it probably doesn't hurt if you also know a little bit about the individual, maybe their outside activities from work too.
Absolutely. I think it's important if you can, a way to do that is to go and see if they have a weblog. Mm-hmm. A lot of times people will create a blog, people in very senior positions, and that will reveal what some of their personal interests are. It might be a way that you can connect. For instance, if you both are interested in wine or horseback riding, it's an easy way to break the ice.
That's great. Well, Dan, I have to take a quick break, but when we come right back, you're going to have to show me the money. Don't go away.